Who was in the right, Padme or Devo? Hi, for this video, Pete will be trying to do a Padme impression. I'll be playing Devo. In the Clone Wars episode, Senate Murders, Devo and Padme both investigated the death of Senator Farr, both starting with different motives and methods. Were either of them even supposed to investigate? Well, obviously I was. Devo is a police lieutenant. Police lieutenants are usually in charge of the day-to-day activities of units within a police department. Their jobs are largely supervisory or administrative. They usually work in offices, but may also direct activities at crime scenes or contribute to criminal investigations. We see him stand around and tell the droids what to do. He also takes witness statements and examines what the droids give him. So it sounds like he's doing his job. I think he's overstepping his bounds. Just what little you know. As an investigator, is he any good? He knows how to listen and ask questions and can stay calm in dangerous situations, but if nothing seems out of place or he isn't given important information, he can miss minor details that would have solved the case much faster. Hey. Which honestly sounds like something that every detective would have gone through. He's quick to a crime scene even if he doesn't walk very fast. He gets frustrated with paperwork and senators who want to play detective. I wasn't playing.
Senator Amidala, is it possible you might be going deaf?
Lieutenant?
Because when I said I didn't want you to interfere with my investigation, I can only assume that you didn't hear me.
He will latch onto a piece of evidence and run with it, even if his hunch is wrong. He will listen if you provide evidence, but he will listen if you provide evidence to the contrary. Apparently. He's not a bad investigator, but you can see why he hasn't had a promotion in a while. I resent that remark. Padme is a senator, meaning investigation is not something she is trained for, nor does she have the legal requirements to do so. She's a senator. They don't have, and they think they own everything. She started her investigation because she was close to the victim and assumed that she knows better. Legally, that should have been the whole reason for her not to investigate. Clearly, these people know what they're talking about.
Well, he didn't exactly inspire confidence, did he? He didn't know Anno. We did. We'll have a far easier time looking into this than Detective Devo will.
She is a rule breaker and is highly impulsive.
My friend was murdered. I don't care about rules.
This is her first official case, and she botched it to the point that it created the embargo. I don't know what that is. And almost got herself and Senator Organa killed. During her second case in the episode Corruption, Padme is seen being a better Watson than a Holmes. I honestly don't know what that means.
So, where do we start?
The schools.
What about what they ate yesterday?
The menu of food is pretty regular here. We would have caught something with our tests.
What about their drinks, Doctor?
No, they drink fresh water. It's impossible for it to be tainted.
Not the water. What about the bottled drinks? How could this have happened?
It's not your fault.
I appreciate that. However, for an outbreak of this size to occur, I'm afraid it's a sign of a much, much deeper-seated corruption than I had imagined.
In the start of the episode, Devo makes it very clear that he doesn't want anyone running around trying to play detective.
After all, I am the inspector, you're the senator, so I'll handle the inspecting and you can stick to the senating.
He starts off on the right path, figuring that Farr's death had to do with something from his past.
Found a chemical in his bloodstream, killed him right away. It's an obvious case. Politicians always have something to hide, and it always comes back to haunt them. Am I right? Oh, look who I'm asking. Room full of politicians. So, one of Farr's secrets must have resurfaced.
Well, I assume that it had to do with the cloning bill.
Anno had no secrets. That's not it. Perhaps someone was upset about the clone troop bill currently on the floor. It's very controversial.
Technically, everyone in that room is just as a suspect as they were likely to be the next victim. I hadn't thought about that. Devo doesn't know who Far's political enemies are and would have gone looking to find them. The evidence would have still led him to the docks. If Padme had stayed out of it, there would have been one less dead senator, as she was the one who alerted the killer. He would have sent his droids to check the dock footage as soon as he was told about the meeting, never alerting the killer or senators about what it is he found until it was all the evidence. That place would have had a lot of security cameras watching for thieves. So one of the cameras would have spotted Far and a cloaked person talking, probably even using the killer's hand when they pointed a weapon at him to scare him.
I tried to scare him at the docks, but he wouldn't go away, so I removed him.
Padme told her friends, including the killer, then decided to investigate under the cover of night. This gave the killer time and reason to clean up their mess. Padme even doesn't decide to play by my rules until the unbarred senator was found murdered.
Senator Dici, I'm sure you're surprised to see me after what you... He's dead.
He's been stabbed.
This is definitely gonna require another report.
No, you can't leave, Lolo. I think, in this instance, the inspector is right.
Out of my way.
Who else knew you were going to the docks?
Just Senator Bertoni. She was the only other one in the room with us.
Bertoni, eh?
Even if they didn't like him, Organa and Mon Mothma kept insisting that she let Devo do his job. Very smart senators.
Then we'll have time to conduct our own investigation.
Detective Devo specifically asked us not to interfere.
Using this investigation to bury your grief might not be the best way to do it.
I'm not.
Then why can't you just leave it to Lieutenant Devo?
Her not telling Devo about the info she gained is what got Senator Dici killed. Had she told him, he would have sent droids into the crime scene and put Dici under protective custody.
I had some information about a lead here at the docks.
Which you naturally brought to me straight away so I could investigate, only... No, wait, you did the exact opposite of that. There are rules, Senator.
She even proceeds to leave the active crime scene to demand answers from the unbarred senator.
But now you've alerted the killer that you're onto him, and my investigation is that much harder. Do you have any idea how many reports I'll have to file now?
We alerted the killer.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
What if we were sent here on purpose?
To the docks?
Yes! What if this was all a setup? What if Dici sent us here just so he could kill us?
If we hurry, we might still be able to catch Dici before he leaves the Senate.
Agreed.
But wait, I'm still investigating. This is still an active crime scene. You can't... Oh, fine.
When confronting the main suspect, Senator Bertoni, Devo points out what kind of poison we used. A poison designed to attack Rhodians. Lolo was Rhodian.
This in turn shifts Devo's hunch about motive, sending him on the wrong path. Oh, so it's your fault.
I have this. I ordered an extensive forensic report on Far as soon as he died. The poison which killed Far only affects Rhodian blood, and it was developed by Kaminoan scientists.
But that's... I didn't kill him!
You're Kaminoan, you had access to the poison. That's motive, means, and opportunity. Guards?
But the scan must be wrong. If the poison was in all our drinks, Lolo would have died too.
What?
The important information tipped Padme off, but not Devo, due to the fact that he had no idea that Lolo was with the victim when he died. Important information that was somehow left out of the witness statements. Was it me? Well, I don't know who forgot to tell anybody.
You were one of the people who didn't tell me.
This honestly would have been a much shorter episode with less casualties had Padme kept her inexperienced nose out of the investigation. I think they're biased, whoever wrote this.
And that's what we got. Good riddance. Goodbye.
Goodbye.